Today on r/AskReddit, what made the popular kid at school the unpopular kid? There was one kid in my class who was the son of our maths teacher. He was crazy popular because he was able to help everyone out with their homework for that class. Turns out he was actually snooping through his dad's notes to get the answers. The teacher naturally got super suspicious after a while, so he deliberately made a fake answer sheet. Of course, the kid grabbed it and noted it all down. It was full of wrong answers so blatant that anyone who even slightly paid attention in class would know they were way off base. The kid handed out the answers anyway, and in an instant made about half the class bomb. And his popularity dropped like a rock as they all accused him of deliberately making them fail. They moved him to another class and they never had an incident of cheating again. Is this common in the US? Where I'm from, teachers aren't allowed to teach in their child's class. Edit. Op is probably not from the US, since they wrote maths instead of math. He shite his pants. I remember a guy at my school kept on asking to use the restroom, and the teacher kept refusing. Eventually, he went up to a trash can, dropped trow, and took a shite. This was middle school, but nevertheless, folks remember it to this day. He accidentally stabbed and blinded in one eye the nicest kid in the school by throwing a stick at him. The kid that was blinded grew up to be super successful and is now married, with a baby on the way. So the price of success is an eye. I could do that. I feel pretty bad for both kids. If it was really an accident, it probably haunts him every day, especially if people treated it like it was purposeful. His girlfriend dumped him and moved away to a private school, so he started sending videos of him jacking off to the other popular girls in school. Why did he think that was a good idea? I don't get why people think unwanted nudes and videos are somehow hot. Send one if I know you, like you, and we've mutually agreed that we want to do it. Please. Having a set of keys given to him by the school, WTF. I know, because he was one of the really popular kids. Then using those keys to break into the school and steal $30k worth of woodworking/metalworking tools. To be fair, the school got what was coming by giving keys to a student. He punched the autistic kid, then proceeded to get jumped by every single guy that saw him in school for the next week until his parents had him switch schools. There's times bullying is acceptable. Edit, guys, I meant bullying the bully. He didn't get a Sega Dreamcast, but I did, so I became the popular kid. I was relatively popular. I was in JV basketball, marching band, mathletes, and track, and pretty much made friends with everyone until my best friend at the time claimed I pushed her down the stairs and caused her to have surgery on both legs. Thing is, I was at my grandmother's funeral in another state the entire week she claimed it happened, while the teachers kept us apart and understood my side. None of the others really believed me, except the Anim Club. They believed me. Go weebs. Only the Anim Club believes in top 10 anim betrayals in real life. That ain't a friend. That a backstabber aiming for the heart from the front and the back, considering that she lied during what may be a very emotional period of time. When he was caught taking upskirt photos of girls in school and sending them to his friends, his popularity went from hero to zero in a split second. Edit. Thanks for the gold award. This was clearly enjoyed more than I anticipated. When she made fun of me in front of everyone for wearing a yellow shirt to school. It was just a plain yellow shirt and she somehow found a way to mock the color. It was so unnecessary and made her look like someone who was just rude for no reason. Everyone quickly realized that she thought people were automatically on her side cause she was somewhat rich, and she just became a joke after that. Maybe she had some childhood trauma involving lemons. Guy wasn't necessarily the popular kid, but it wasn't a big school so everyone knew everyone. I think between 9th and 10th grade he was found alone in his car behind the local arcade beating off. He was called Thumper from that day forward. No idea what happened after graduation, but he has to have some bad memories of those years. He sexually assaulted one of the most liked girls in the school. And after legal action took place, and he came back to school, nobody spoke to him. Nobody acknowledged him. He played soccer, and so the school let him stay. For some ducking reason. If they wouldn't give him justice, we all decided to ourselves. I can't believe his parents decided it was a good idea for him to return to the same school after that sort of incident. Started straight up lying to teachers to get people in trouble. Don't know how he thought that was gonna work out. Edit, spelling. She stopped handing out free Skittles. Rip Skittle girl's reputation. The first ones are supposed to be free. She's just trying to run a business here. His parents gave him money and bought him all this new expensive stuff and he rubbed it in everyone's faces and everyone kind of got sick of him. We had a kid in our school who acted rich like a lot. New phone. Expensive clothes. Expensive accessory swatches. Rings. Necklace. Etc. So he invited select few people, myself included, to his house for a small party. The thing is, when we got there it was a small apartment in a rundown complex. We learned that his parents worked double jobs with extra shifts to pay for all his stuff. My heart broke a lot that day from the way he acted towards his parents and so ungrateful. He apparently ducked his dog. Even if it didn't happen, this pretty much ducked his social standing. A girl I went to school with did that. She was extremely vocal about it too. She got pregnant and the school-wide joke was she was expecting puppies. I went to an all-girls school and there was an all-boys school about 5 minutes walk away. When I was in my final year, the school vice captain of the boys' school was dating one of our grade leaders. Both being 17 and not very smart, she eventually got pregnant. She dropped out. And pretty much everyone who knew him at our school hated him. Prior to that, he was very well liked. I thought it was a bit ridiculous, honestly. Pretty sure it takes two to tango. I mean, she didn't get pregnant on her own. When everyone found out he was jerking off to science teacher she, in the class, along with his friends. This was 8th grade. This guy at my table would play the "no one likes me, I'm the center of attention now" card. As in, he would fake sadness for attention, redirecting conversation and drawing the energy from a room. Like the kid who won't be friends with you anymore because you wore the same color shirt. He was quite wealthy too and would rub it in your face. I'm really curious as to how autocorrect gave you more instead of war. A girl in my school fingered herself with Kit Kat in the dining hall and then ate it. WTF. There was an Asian girl who was well liked by everyone. Smart. Happy to help anyone struggling in class and was generally a nice person, but her uncle scammed alert people in her community, including parents of kids that went to our school. She went from being well liked to being bullied, still she dropped out of school. Duck that uncle. Why is she getting bullied for what her uncle did? He teased my best friend for being built like a Mack truck. She picked him up and put him upside down in the garbage can. He lost any coolness he had. Edit. Typo. Power move. When being fast wasn't good enough anymore, so he hooked up with a girl. He ducked his friend's mom at a party. Let's call popular kid A and his friend B. B's mom was arrested as she shouldered Bean, and B faced torment from basically everyone that knew what happened. Kid A continued to brag about his actions. Eventually people gained sympathy for B and Kid A lost his popularity real fast. I stand by Kid A as one of Radiohead's best albums. Apparently he ducked his cat. And that's how Rocky got the nickname Sparkles for the rest of his junior and senior year. My partner likes to tell the story of how she became the unpopular kid at school. She was about 6/7, so primary 2 here in the UK. And a trend kicked off in her class of eating dog biscuits. All the kids were stealing dog biscuits from home and eating them at break time. Unfortunately, she didn't have a dog and just had to eat normal human biscuits at school. She was ostracized every break time for it. Peer pressure is weird sometimes. The pastiest white girl at my school was recorded saying the N-word. What happens if I'm homeschooled? The popular kid of your house. IDK. I'm dating a girl who was homeschooled and is a twin, and I've always wanted to ask if there was a valedictorian among them. They screamed racist insults and yelled at everyone for doing the tiniest, littlest things that aren't annoying. Trading a Charizard card for a Rattata. When I was in primary school, the popular kid thought it would be funny to flush the class pet, a hamster called Nibbles, down the toilet. All the kids thought the hamster would have died. He quickly became known as the kid who killed a hamster. He ended up changing schools for another reason. BTW, the hamster survived. I don't know how pipes work, but I heard the caretaker eventually found him. The school still gave Nibbles away after that. Edit. Holy shite, 600 upvotes is the most I've ever got. Thank you. If you were wondering about the kid, he had bad ad or something like that. He was transferred to a school that specialized in kids with behavioral problems. He has a stable job as a bookmaker, but that's all I know about him. Also, although we were told Nibbles survived, we never saw him again. All we know is that he was given away to a random family. There is a possibility the teacher made that up, as another editor pointed out, and Nibbles actually did perish, and they just didn't want to upset us. Did a lot of your childhood animals get to go live on a farm? He tindered next to his girlfriend, who everyone liked. Told everyone how he would dump her etc. He started calling a bunch of kids the N-word, and his life just went downhill from there. He thought it would be cool to bring a loaded BB gun to school and got the cops called on him by another student. She made fun of a girl with cancer. Made a joke like, "Why don't you ask your mom to buy you a wig? I can see your scalp." And overnight, she was the least liked person in school. And 100% deserved it. He threw a watermelon at a black kid's house. Middle school was the popular days. Once high school came in, no one gave a crap. Everyone had friends throughout grades and around the school. He had a kid. He was chatting up my much younger sister, her 12, him 17, and a few months later someone in the class brought it back up, so he picked a fight with me. I have barely any muscle, but what I found out that day is I have one hell of a right arm. I can make some assumptions about your training. They find out the house he lives in. Threw a hockey stick hollow ended into the special needs kid's eye socket. He claimed it was accidentally only, but was caught bragging about it on his Snapchat story. He then said, his words not mine, he doesn't have any hope though. So what does it matter? The kid needed surgery that his parents had to pay for, as it was cosmetic. The kid moved to a cheaper school a week later. She first got a slutty reputation and then got terrible acne. Went from cute cheerleader girl to pariah. I felt sorry for her. People found out he was killing animals in super ducked up ways. Held a dog underwater until it drowned. Ran over a cat with a lawnmower. Used baseball bats and machetes. Dude was doing some serial killer level stuff. Now he's in the army. Oh boy, do I feel protected. When school started, she was so popular she could hang out with anyone in any kind of friend group. She was that beautiful, social, athletic blonde girl. Then, she began hanging out with me. The 16 years old handicapped girl walking slowly with a wooden cane like an old woman. She instantly got unpopular, but still decided to stick around. And we made our own group of friends. 10 years later, she's a popular jeweler in my old town. And still as beautiful, funny and kind as ever. I hated this kid, but apparently the rest of the school loved him. He was freshman class president. And legit looked and acted like a politician even at 18. This is college. Then he got drunk and ran over 2 girls walking back from a party. And to ice the cake he stopped and called the cops himself. But then started fighting the EMTs when they arrived. Somehow he only did 2 years. And came back to school. His family had a lot of money. But we all knew by then how it went down. He was not well received when he returned to campus. I don't think he has a future in politics. Think he even ended up transferring schools because even the professors hated him when he came back. I stood up for the teacher with at the time terminal cancer when everyone was teasing/bullying her. Cancer made her a bit more positive. Live life to fullest. Why? And she was pretty childish, actually great for elementary school children, but my class was 1 degree away from feral at the time. I was no longer popular. She was super nice and by some miracle beat the cancer. Lack of personality. Made fun of the mute kid for being mute. Said that she was faking it and that it wasn't possible for her to be that way. He definitely didn't get away with that. Super ducked up. But this girl I went to grade school with was a victim of a house fire. She was pretty unpopular with all the kids in 1st and 2nd grade. After the fire she was left with a lot of scarred tissue. In 3rd grade, all the kids turned on her and called her names. Wouldn't sit next to her or share things we needed in class. I actually got to know her better that year as she was my class Valentine. She was the same person as before, except broken. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more dank curated content from Cross-Pistable Reddit.